Hello everyone, welcome to the Zen or Mobile Yoga YouTube channel. If you're watching this today, it's probably because you have a coach or a mentor that has taught you the importance of balance. For cheer and dance, of course, it's a lot about building flexibility and strength, but it's also important to focus on preventing injuries and also building those tiny muscles that we use to kind of balance out the muscles that we overcompensate by using too much or doing repetitive movements. So we're going to be focusing on that as well today. I've also added a small element of breathing. This will help for performance anxiety, building confidence, practicing mindfulness and self-care, and also acceptance. Because in the end, what really matters is teamwork and knowing that we all have different strengths and weaknesses and all of it is okay. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start out in Thunderbolt, which is just sitting on the heels. And because the feet are really important as the foundation for our balancing, we want to stretch those out a little bit, stretch out the toes. So go ahead and just curl the toes under. I'll show you from the side here. And we're going to be sitting like this. If at any point it gets uncomfortable or if that really hurts, just go ahead and sit on the heels without the toes. I want you to put one hand on your belly and put the other hand on your chest. And we're going to be breathing in and out through the nose, starting the inhalation using the diaphragm in the belly. So we'll inhale through the belly first, and then carry that inhalation lifting the chest. So it's kind of like a two-part breath. Inhale through the belly, carry it to the chest, and then we exhale through the nose normally. Let's go ahead and try that a couple times. Inhale starting with the belly, carry the breath to the chest, exhale completely. Inhale, belly, chest, exhale. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, lift the hand on the belly, lift the hand on the chest, and then exhale completely. So that's kind of how you want to breathe all the time. That keeps us out of anxiety. If any of you have anxiety, you might be breathing only with the chest, and we need to add the diaphragm in the belly there. So that's an all the time breath. We have a tendency when we're nervous or anxious to have shallow breathing, and that really affects, how we carry oxygen to the whole body and how we perform. So that's a breath that you can use all the time. Let's go ahead and just rest the hands on the lap now. We're going to set an intention before we start our practice. So sit up nice and tall, almost like somebody's pulling a string out through the crown of the head. Bring the shoulder blades together and down the back. And then close the eyes and just return to that breath that we were just doing, that two-part breath in through the belly, carry it to the chest, and then exhale. And there's a saying that says, train your mind and your body will follow. So I want you to kind of think of this intention or this mantra as we begin our practice. Just repeating in your head silently, I breathe in confidence and breathe out fear. I breathe in confidence and I breathe out fear. You are some of the toughest heart-filled athletes out there, so self-confidence is really important. I breathe in confidence and breathe out fear. We'll take 2 more breaths here. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. Go ahead and slowly open the eyes. We're going to sit and then stack our legs. It's called stacking the log. So you kind of want to stack the legs right on top of each other. Bring your left ankle to your right knee. And then your left knee will stack on top of the bottom ankle, the right ankle. Okay, most of you will begin to feel this just sitting like this already because we're opening our hips and stretching the hips. So if you can't completely stack them, just do the best that you can. If you need to just sit in a regular, legs crossed position, that's fine too. And eventually you can get here. Most of you are probably pretty flexible, so this shouldn't be bad. And we're just going to bring the right hand to the side. Left arm is going to go up as we breathe in, and then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and opening that left side of the body. And then exhale, lean to the right. So stretching and ope Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring that left arm down. Inhale as we bring the right arm up. Exhale, lean to the left. Feeling a stretch from the right hip, maybe all the way up the arm. Inhale, come back to center, and then we're gonna bring the other leg on top. So left leg is bent on the bottom, right ankle to the knee, knee to ankle. You might find that one side of your body is tighter than the other side, and that's completely normal. For me, this is my tight side, so this hurts a little bit more. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with the side stretches. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lean to the right. Make sure you're not collapsing the chest. Keep the chest open, sternum up to the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center. Bring that left arm down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, lean. Inhale, back to center. Bring that arm down. Let's come to hands and knees. We're going to be doing our cat pose. So you want your knees to be hip width apart, toes are uncurled, and then the hands are going to be about shoulder width apart. We don't want the shoulders to be over the wrists. That's going to cause us injury in the long run. So be sure that your shoulder is directly over the wrists or the hands are a little bit in front. And then we're going to inhale and drop the belly, raise the tailbone and lift the chin. Press the shoulders back. Exhale, lead with the tailbone, begin to round the spine, push through the shoulder blades, drop the head so you're looking at the navel. And then inhale, begin to drop the belly towards the mat again. So see if you can really get that spine to hang towards the front of the body. Relax the lower back muscles, open the chest, lift the gaze. And then exhale, round again. We're just warming up the spine here. So the spine is really the part of the body that you want to keep flexible. Keeps the body healthy. You're going to do this at the pace of your own breath. So you might be going a little bit faster or even a little bit slower if you're really feeling spots where you need to stop and stretch. Inhale, drop. Exhale, round. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. And then as you exhale, just come back to a neutral position or tabletop. Now from where you are, I want you to walk the hands forward, just one palm length forward. We're gonna curl the toes under and come into our first down dog here. So you don't wanna focus on straightening the legs. Flexibility is important, for what you're doing, but in yoga, it's really not important. In fact, we focus on the fact that maybe hypermobility can be dangerous for the body in the long run. So I really want you to listen to your body and see where the limits are, and we're gonna try to align the body and stack the bones instead of going as far, trying to make that our goal, to go all the way, okay? So curl the toes under, lift the hip sockets up to the ceiling, and then press the thighs up and back. We're gonna line up the ears to our inner arms. And you'll notice for me, even though I've been doing yoga for 18 years, I still bend my knees because I have really tight hamstrings. So we're gonna press the hands, we're gonna press the roots of the fingers into the mat. We're gonna draw the shoulder blades together and back, and that'll help us lengthen the spine. And you can just pedal your feet a little bit here, stretch out the calf muscles. And if your heels do touch, that's great. We're not focusing on the heels on the mat because you can notice here how my back is a little bit round. We want a straight, long spine here. So if you have to bend your knees a little bit to get that, that's what we want. Let's take a breath or two here. So inhale and exhale. Continue to pedal the feet, just warming up the body. And one more breath. Breathe in. And exhale, bring that right leg up in the air. So coming into a three-legged dog here, just really open it up. And then we're gonna bring knee to nose, think knee to nose, but we're really gonna step forward. So bring that right foot forward. You can drop the back knee for now because we wanna focus on stretching the hip flexors. So go ahead and as you exhale, soften that left hip flexor towards the mat. Okay, and then we're gonna press the right foot, all four corners of the right foot into the mat. Inhale, swoop the arms up. And as you exhale, soften the hips forward again. Good, you should really feel that in the left hip flexor. Not going too far. And it's okay if the knee is over the ankle a little bit, but if it's too far over, then scoot your right toes forward. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Come back into your downward facing dog. Walk the legs out for a moment, and then we'll do the other side. So left leg up, reach it up as far as you can. And then think knee to nose, but go ahead and step that foot forward. It's just to help the foot get up there. Drop the back knee. Press all four corners of the left foot into the mat. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Exhale, soften forward, soften the hips forward. So another thing we focus on with yoga is finding the muscular action in each pose. So we are lengthening the right hip flexor right now, but we are also pressing the left foot into the mat, and you can feel the glutes, at least the left glute, turn on by doing that. So the left foot is supporting us while we stretch the right hip flexor. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, come forward. Lift that back knee, come back into your downward facing dog. And then I want you to drop down to your forearms. So this is just to strengthen the shoulders. You guys do a lot of headstands, handstands, whatnots, lifting people up. And this is great for strengthening the shoulders. So this is downward facing dog, but just on the forearms. Press the forearms into the mat. Bend the knees for just a moment, lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling, and then press the heels back. And just take a couple of breaths here. You'll notice the strength that you need in the arms here. And if your arms get tired, just take a break. Come down to hands and knees. It doesn't take long to build the strength in the arms. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. You can even begin to practice walking the toes forward without letting the head touch the mat, if you need something more challenging. We're gonna drop the knees to the mat, widen them to the edges of the mat, and then sit on the heels coming into child's pose. Walk the hands forward, rest the forehead on the mat. And we'll take 2 breaths here. Just finding stillness and noticing what is already starting to feel open in our body, noticing the areas that feel tight. And so just kind of listening right now. And then go ahead and press the hands. Come into your downward facing dog, and then we are going to walk the feet towards the hands. So just slowly step, step, step to the front of the mat. Hang forward here for just a moment. Let the head hang. And then press all 4 corners of both feet into the mat, so nice and solid here. Bend the knees a little bit to protect the lower back. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Palms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. So inhale and swoop the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Walk the feet back into a plank pose, so shoulders are directly over the wrists. And then as we lower in chaturanga, make sure the elbows stay along the sides of the body. That's really important. We evenly lower the body. Everything touches at the same time. Now bring the hands to the lower ribs. Press the tops of the feet into the mat and push yourself up, coming into cobra. So the glutes are engaged, the legs, it's almost as if you have one big leg back there. So really pressing the legs. Shoulders are back. Curl the toes under, come up into downward facing dog. And then left foot comes forward, right foot comes forward, and then we hang forward in Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen out through the crown of the head, nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, swoop the arms up, palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good, one more time, a little bit faster and with the breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold forward. Hook the lower belly over the thighs. So no rounding of the back. We want to try to hook over the thighs there. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg comes back. And we take a deep breath in. We're here at our plank for a moment, and then we exhale, chaturanga. Uncurl the toes, hands to the lower ribs. Inhale, cobra. Curl the toes under, exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Left foot forward as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. And then as we inhale, we're coming up into chair. Okay? So a strengthening pose here, and is important for balance. You're gonna act as if you are trying to rip the mat apart with your feet. So turn on those glutes. And because the knees are over the ankles, we wanna shift all of our weight to the heels or the back of the body. Get those arms up along the sides of the ears. Good, good. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, fold forward. Press the feet, inhale, swoop the arms up. Palms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. You guys are doing an amazing job. We're gonna do some standing poses. Bring your right foot back. We want the center line to be heel lined up with the arch of the back foot. Left toes are gonna be pointing straight forward. The back foot will be at a little bit of an angle, about 45 degrees. So I want you to take your left fingertips and begin to push that left hip, that left femur head back. Okay, so you'll notice that your hips will start to shift back or to the right. So get that as far as you can. You'll feel the back of the front leg begin to open. Now reach forward with your left fingertips. Reach, reach, reach without moving the hips. And then drop that left hand as far as you can. Okay, we're coming into triangle pose here. Now rotate open the shoulders. Try to stack those shoulders. And if you want, you're in triangle, but if you want, you can bring the right fingertips up. And if you need more of a balance challenge, you can look up at that right thumb. Okay, keep the chest open. And as we're pressing the back heel, okay, the outer edge of the back foot, and we're making sure that our front leg stays straight, we take 2 breaths here. So breathe in. And exhale. If you feel you can bring the hand down after a breath, feel your body opening up, go ahead and do that, but don't compromise the spine. Take another breath, inhale, and breathe out. Take another breath, inhale, and breathe out. Bend the front knee just a little bit, and then pop up. Good. We're gonna bring the arms behind our backs. Grab the elbows. Keep that leg straight. All we're doing is shifting the hips to the front of the mat. And that same way we sunk the hips back, we're gonna do that again. We're gonna keep the front leg straight. We're gonna get tall in the spine, so lengthen the upper torso. Keep the shoulder blades together and down. We don't wanna hunch forward for this. We're lengthening, and then we just start to come forward. Press the back foot, and continue to deepen this left groin here. And some of you, because you're probably mostly all more flexible than I am, we're thinking, you know, coming to our knee or our shin. As long as your back doesn't round like this to get there, know your limits and accept your limits, and just continue to come forward. I stop here, so I'm going to take a couple breaths here. You stop where your body stops. And breathe out. One more, breathe in. Really pressing that left foot into the mat. And then go ahead and bend the front knee, pop yourself back up. We're gonna come into a half moon from here. So this is really working on balance and strengthening. We're gonna take this left arm out in front of us, and we're gonna begin to scoot the right foot forward and come down to the floor. So left hand to the floor, and then this back leg will start to lift. This is a very difficult pose, so if you don't get the leg up today, that's okay. I'm going to take one breath here. Find a focus point, use your breath to help you balance. And then bend the left knee and gently bring the foot back to the mat. Good. And then we're going to hop back to mountain pose. And from here we can go ahead and release the arms. I want you to face forward on your mat, widen the legs, or if you don't have a mat. You don't have to have a yoga mat to be doing these poses, right? We're gonna do a wide leg forward bend here. So we wanna make sure that the toes are facing forward. This is really gonna lengthen and strengthen our hamstrings. And we are gonna need to keep the quadriceps engaged for this. In order to release the hamstrings, we need a counterbalance. So we need to activate the front of the legs. So go ahead and press the feet. Remember to get long in the spine. Keep the shoulder blades together and down, pressing the shoulders away from the ears. And then just like we did before, we're sinking the groins back, engaging the quads, so lift the kneecaps. And then just breathe as you come down. And when you feel yourself go as far as you can go, remember we don't want to go too far and round the back. We need to be honest with our bodies. That's how we prevent injuries. Inhale, lengthen again. Make sure the quads are engaged again. And then exhale and see if you can come further. Maybe you can touch the floor. Maybe you're already beyond that. You can end up keeping the legs straight, putting the hands, fingertips away from you. Or you can even grab the toes to open up the chest and then just drop the head. You can even be resting the head on the floor if you can go that far. But just remember to keep the quads engaged. Also, we're pressing the outer ankle to the inner ankle. So we don't want to collapse our ankles either. So this will strengthen the ankles as well. And once you're where you can be, go ahead and take a couple of breaths. See if you can go a little further on the exhale. One more, inhale. And then exhale. Slightly bend the knees, so just a micro bend in the knees. We're gonna stick the butt out, press the feet, protect our lower backs here. Inhale, bring the arms up, palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Go ahead and hop back to our mountain pose or Tadasana. We're gonna do the other side for that series with the triangle and the half moon. So this time we're bringing the left leg back. Okay, remember heel to arch, right fingertips to the right hip crease. Go ahead and just start to push that in. Getting nice and grounded, lining up the bones. The knee, by the way, should be lined up with the second and third toe, so we want to make sure that's happening too. And we're going to be strengthening those mini muscles I was talking about in the beginning that we haven't even maybe thought of before. Go ahead and reach the right fingertip forward, so we're lengthening the torso here. And then drop the right hand. Wherever it goes is where it's supposed to go. Rotate the shoulders open, left fingertips up to the ceiling. Go ahead and look at that thumb if you want. Again, you'll notice you're maybe more flexible on one side than the other. The thighs are engaged and rotating out, so externally rotate those thighs. And then see if you can get the spine a little longer. Good. Take one more breath here. And then slightly bend that front knee so we can pop up. Grab the elbows behind the back, shift the hips forward. You might need to hop forward a little bit, that's okay. It depends on your anatomy and how wide your hips are. Mine are pretty wide, so I need a wide stance. And then sink that groin back, lengthening forward. Really pressing the big toe, the ball mount of the big toe into the mat to keep the thigh engaged. We're pressing into the back foot and coming forward. So those opposite actions, the strengthening, the stretching, and see how far down you can go. We're thinking, kissing the knee. I am obviously far from that, and I need to take the ego out of the equation. This is where I am today. It's a lot further than where I used to be. Take one more breath here. Shoulders back. And then as you exhale, slowly bend the knee. We're going to come back up, come into our half moon. So right arm forward. Begin to shift the weight forward. Sliding that back foot. We're going to touch the floor. And then begin to straighten the standing leg and activate the lifted leg. Your quadricep has no choice but to get strong here. See if you can take a couple of breaths. Find the stillness and having to balance in a pose like this. One more. And then slowly bend the knee. Ever so softly drop that foot. Good. And then hop back to Tadasana. Nice. Shake the legs out a little bit. I'm going to come to the center of the mat so you can see me. We're going to just keep grabbing those elbows behind our back. Get nice and tall. Press all four corners of the feet into the mat so the legs are active here. We're not just standing. We're nice and strong. Lower belly is strong, lifting in and up. Good. And we're going to do a couple of neck stretches here. So look all the way to the right as far as your neck will let you. And we're going to keep the chin to the chest as we roll across the chest, looking over the left shoulder now. We're going to do this a few times. And if you notice a spot in your neck that has extra tension or needs a little bit of an extra stretch, go ahead and stop there and do that. Don't forget to breathe. Find your breath here. And then one more and we'll come back to center. Go ahead and look to center. We're going to widen the feet and come down into a squat. So release the arms. That's a lot of work on the arms, right? And just begin to come down to a squat. See if you can keep your feet flat on the mat, okay? Widen your feet as much as you need to. If you have to come onto your toes, that's fine. See if you can use your elbows to press the knees open and bring your hands together. This is going to stretch the lower back. It's good for digestion. And it opens up the hips even more than we've done so far. Go ahead and come to a seated position. We're going to turn sideways. We're going to do boat pose, which will help engage the core. So lots of core work here. So we want to find the place right below the sacrum, not so much on the tailbone, but that place where it doesn't hurt and we can find balance, okay? And we're going to use that. So go ahead and find that. And then I want to make sure, keep your hands down. Make sure that you're lifting the chest and your back, your lower back will come into flexion a little bit, but we want to try to keep that lifted. All right, and we're going to start with our legs up like this. See if you can spread the toes, keep the feet active, and then bring the hands out to the sides. Use your breath here. Lower belly power in and up. Take a couple of breaths. Good. If any of you have clicking in the hips already, this is because of a weakness in the hips. Some things need to be strengthened. So this will strengthen the outer hip as well. Take one more breath. And then bring the feet down and just hug the knees for a moment. And then we're going to come back up. Find your balance. And then this time we're going to bring the legs straight. If you are good here, then stay here for now. That's fine. If you can straighten the legs and bring the arms out, great. If you're compromising by trying to go further, then just back up a little bit. This is fine. Take a couple breaths. And as you exhale, bring the feet down. Nice job. Not an easy pose. We're going to bring the legs down here, waken the hips up just a little bit more. The left knee is bent, and then we're going to take the right hand and grab our right foot. And we're just going to push our hip back, push the foot into the hand. Just for a moment here, we are almost done. We're getting towards the end. We're just waking the hips up a little bit more. And then we're going to push the foot, grab it with our left hand. So grab the other hand, grab the foot, thumb is pointing down, and then we're going to get nice and tall. And then we're going to open up. So twisting open here. You're going to feel this in the outside of the leg, the IT band. You can even just keep the chest or the arm like this. Your right leg is going to want to go all the way to the left lane. Try to keep it as straight as possible. And then go ahead and bring the knee in. We're going to straighten this leg out, so bring it out to the right. Take that seat meat away, like just pull your butt back, okay? There's no nice way to say it. And then tuck that right thigh under so your knee is pointing straight up. And try to spread the toes. Activate the quad. We're going to continue to release the hamstrings here. We're gonna press the left sitting bone into the mat as we inhale, get tall, and then exhale and come forward over the right leg. Keep in mind to keep the spine lengthened. We don't wanna, you don't get any gold stars for going all the way down to your knee. At least I don't think. I could be wrong. But really try to keep that alignment. It'll serve your body better in the long run. If you can get around your foot, go ahead and grab your hands, if you can go all the way down, and then continue to ground the left sitting bone down as you lengthen through the crown of the head and try to go a little deeper. Good, one more breath. Shoulders are back. And we try to keep the neck lined up with the spine. We don't want to bend it back like this or like this. And then slowly come up. Bend the right leg. We're gonna press the left foot back, doing our arrow. So go ahead and bend that left knee back. Push the foot into the hand. This is stretching the knee as well. And then take the right hand, grab the outside of the foot, so thumb is pointing down, straighten the leg, and then open up into your twist. Get nice and tall. If your leg does not stay straight here, go ahead and just, hug the knee, get tall. Your hamstrings will get there eventually. You can bend the arm if that feels better on your shoulders. Take another breath here. Don't let the leg go into the right lane. Keep the left leg in the left lane. And then go ahead and come back to center. We're gonna straighten this left leg. Again, get that seat meat away. Tuck the left thigh under to get the knee nice and straight. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, chest to thigh. Good. You might be able to go a little further on this leg, or maybe not as far. It's just noticing the differences in your body and getting to know your body. Good, keep this foot flexed. If you can go all the way down, go ahead and grab the hands. Keep the right sitting bone pressing down to the mat. And just continue to lengthen. Press the sitting bone down, lengthen through the crown of the head, exhale and soften even more. We'll take one more breath here. This is probably one of the more familiar poses to you that I'm sure you already do. And then slowly come up. We're gonna come down onto our backs. We're gonna do a supine pigeon, so lying on our back in this pigeon pose, because for most athletes, especially if you also do conditioning and stuff like that along with this, which I'm sure you do, you have a piriformis muscle in your glutes. You have one on each side. And that can get really short and tight and cause a pain, a literal pain in the butt. Sometimes it feels like sciatic nerve pain. Sometimes it's just because you have a tight muscle back there. So pigeon pose helps with that. Bring your left ankle to your right knee, and then go ahead and interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. Just get it back there. If you're not feeling anything by bringing your knee up to the chest, see if you can interlace the fingers on top of the knee. See if that gives you more of a stretch. Keep the left foot flexed. This is going to protect your knee. Head and shoulders are relaxed on the mat or the floor. And then you're going to press this left leg away from you. So press the left knee away from you and see if that helps with the stretch. And then I want you to picture your tailbone. Like if I were to put a grape or something underneath your tailbone, I want you to squish it. So you're doing a slight push with the tailbone away from you. And then take a couple of breaths here. And as you're exhaling, kind of imagine softening those muscles that feel tight, sending that oxygen to the muscles. By doing this, we're lengthening the belly of the muscle instead of the edges of the muscle, which can cause tears, micro tears, causing injury. One more. Inhale real deep. And as you exhale, bring that right foot back down to the ground. Nice and slow. Left foot down to the ground. We'll do the other side. Right knee to left ankle. Interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Again, keep the right foot flexed because your knee is in a vulnerable position here. Head and shoulders are relaxed towards the mat. Then we're going to push that right knee away, crush the grape with our tailbone, and breathe. One more. And slowly bring the feet down. And you can obviously do this as an isolated stretch if that felt really good, and do it for a longer amount of time. We're gonna do one more twist and then go into a relaxation. So go ahead and drop the knees to the right. Bring the arms out like a goalpost. Try to keep the left shoulder down to the mat or the ground. And then if you can, if it doesn't bother your neck, look over the left arm. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. Just coming into a full spinal twist. You might even feel a stretch in that left hip. You can use your hand to keep the top leg down if that helps. Soften the muscles in the lower back. Be sure you're not gripping. Notice what you're doing with your facial muscles also. Try to soften that. Try to soften the face, soften the throat. And then you can slowly bring the knees back to center and do the other side. So just come to a neutral position just for a moment and then drop the knees to the left. Right shoulder blade stays to the ground. You can look over the right arm. Again, this twisting is just like, if you can imagine when you wring out a washcloth or a sponge or something like that, it just kind of does that for our organs and keeps them healthy. When our body is happy, it does good things for us, right? One more breath. And close the eyes and focus inward, or have them open, it's up to you. And then come back to center. We're going to bring the knees up to the chest. You can rock a little bit right to left if that feels good. And then we'll drop our feet down, straighten the legs, reach up over our head, take the longest stretch of your life. You did such a great job. And then we're going to do just a few-minute relaxation here. So coming into corpse pose. And we're going to go ahead and bring the arms down. Palms are going to face the ceiling. Be sure the shoulder blades are flat on the mat. You want the chin to be a little bit lower than the forehead. And then just let the feet hang open. If it feels good to let them hang wide open, do that. If anything is around us, we don't want to be touching anything. No sense of touch right now. And then close the eyes. And take a deep breath in. And open the mouth as you exhale. We'll breathe in one more time. And anything that you are holding on to, any anger, any stress, gather it up right now and open the mouth and take this opportunity to let it go. And then begin to relax all the muscles in the face. Soften the back of the neck and release the shoulders to the mat. And imagine all the tiny muscles around the spine releasing and softening, starting between the shoulder blades, traveling down to the middle of the back. And then to the lower back. And notice how this allows the arms to feel heavy. Letting go, feeling the fingers curl naturally towards the palms. Allow the pelvis to sink into the ground. And feel the thigh bones release to the back of the legs. And notice how this allows the muscles under the kneecaps to soften and release. Carrying that softness down to the calf muscles, the ankles, the arches of the feet, out through the toes. Knowing you have no other responsibilities right now, that for the next few moments you can give yourself this important gift of relaxation. And if your mind starts to wander, that's okay. See if you can pay attention to the spaces in between your thoughts. And know that you can always come back to the mantra of the breath and just feeling the belly rise and fall. And you can begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And on your own time, just slowly bending the knees one at a time, keeping the eyes closed here. When you're ready, rolling on to your right side. Use your arm as a pillow. Using this as an opportunity, your chest to lower something that is not useful to you anymore, so you can make room for new stuff that's helpful and useful. So anything you're holding out here, leave it on the mat. And then use your arm to any seated position you'd like. Bringing your hands together at your heart center. Thank you for letting me guide you today. Namaste.